What's up, everybody? This is your boy Heel Carmichael, and welcome to another installment of Heel Thoughts. And this topic I'm going to talk about is hardcore fans are the dangerous people. And the reason I want to talk about this topic because I'm pretty much a diehard fan or hard. Well, I'm between the middle, but I'm more of a diehard fan. But what I mean, like hardcore fans are dangerous people. These are the ones who is eat, sleep, breathe of any genre of their likings. You got, hardcore Star Wars fans, hardcore Star Trek fans, hardcore Joker fans, hardcore New York Knicks fans, at which I would talk about that. Now we in the middle of the FIFA World Cup tournament, and you got some hardcore fans out there. Now you do have some casual fans and hardcore fans and diehard fans. Now, you may ask yourself while watching this video, what's the difference? They are just fans, period. Well, not quietly. You got casual fans who is pretty much in and out, but they know what's going on, who is just a fan of the genre, their likings, and pretty much they cool and chill with it. Then you got the die-hard fans who was there since day one and pretty much chilled and passionate at the same time. And as long as you respect their genre, they give you respect back. So it's like, treat them how you want to be treated. Now here come the hardcore fans. Hardcore fans, they eat, sleep, breathe of any genre you could think of. I can give you a biggest prime example. 3 weeks ago, New York Knicks won the NBA championship. Now, what the fans did to the Spurs fans, everybody who had their opinion saying it was ugly, it was downright cowards, they were wrong for it. Me, I kind of on the opposite side. Even though it is wrong, but I understand. Now, let me clear this up when I say that. I was in their shoes before. And I understand why the Knicks did what they did. The fans, I may say. Now, don't get me wrong. You got some fans who's a hardcore Knicks fans, but they're respectful and it's all about the game. It's all about be respect one, be kind one another. But the hardcore fans, they live for this because you gotta think about it. They haven't won a championship in 53 years. On top of it, they were the butt of the jokes from not only from the fans, not only from the other fans, but sports, social media. It's been going on for a very long time, and all that built up frustration, and now they finally won the championship. Yes, if you talk grimy towards the Knicks during pretty much during the final, yes, they will put they will put their hands on you. Now, the reason I understand because I was there. Long time ago, I was a big fan of the Carolina Panthers. And I am to this day. I'm a diehard fan of the Carolina Panthers. And during that time, during the Cam Newton era, they had one of the greatest season runs in the Carolina Panthers history. I mean, they were doing a dab. They were undefeated through and through until they made it to the Super Bowl when they faced Denver Broncos. I think that was not John Elway, excuse me, Eli Madden, meaning Eli or Peyton. It was Peyton Manning final season. That was his last game. And I used to work at Wendy's. And everybody knows I'm a Carolina Panther fans. And I know some people who's a big sports fans. So the day before the Super Bowl, I've been telling everybody, yo, the Carolina Panthers are gonna win, they're gonna put up some scores, da 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 da. And Here's the irony of this. I wasn't being disrespectful. I'm just showing off being a hardcore fan as a Carolina Panther fans. So after the Super Bowl was over, the next day or the day after, we lost. The Carolina Panthers lost. So I went back to work. Not saying nothing, know how I feel about it. There's one guy who's worked there, and I'm not even sure he was a fan of the Denver Broncos or he played some money or whatever. But he came to me while I was washing dishes. He straight up roasted me, talking about, you thought the Carolina Panthers win, da da da. He was just making fun of me, laughing at my face, and I was heated. I was so heated. I was getting ready to poke this dude with a kitchen knife. No, I was not making it up. I was so heated because I had a knife underneath the soap and scuds because I was washing dishes. I was getting ready to stab this dude over Carolina Panthers. No lie. So, well, I think about with all the Knicks beating up the Spurs fans, and of course, Spurs fans, they clap back. I understand where they're coming from. I understand why the Knicks beating up people, even though it's not right. But I understand, and that's why the hardcore fans are very dangerous because they are very, very passionate. And people say, "Oh, it's just a sport." To the casual eyes, yes. But to these hardcore fans, no. Like I say, they eat, sleep, breathe for their team or for their genre. Same thing for pro wrestling. Now, I'm not talking about it's still real to me, damn it. No, not those kind of people. Well, you got some people out there, which is kind of scary. I'm talking about tribalism, those kind of people. Now, you might ask yourself, well, what's the difference between tribalism and hardcore fans? Tribalism, they're focusing on one big promotion that is mostly WWE because that's their number one spot when you watch WWE when you was a kid. Hell, anybody who's a pro wrestling fans, that's their first promotion they ever watched back in the day, or some WCW or even NWA. But 9 out of 10 is mostly WWE. Now, tribalism and hardcore fans, they pretty much neck to neck. When you talked about, other promotion and be respectful, saying, "Oh man, the AEW show was better than WWE because they put up much better match, the storyline was good, ABC." That person who's a tribalism or hardcore fans, neck to neck, they will chew you out. They will say, "Well, you can't talk about my WWE. WWE is the greatest. WWE is the best. You can't talk about that. AEW is trash. AEW is going to die." That's tribalism. And this pretty much they got their blinders on and they see nothing but WWE. It's not the first time I've seen this before. They did it before, or pretty much the tribalism or hardcore fans. They keep that same vibe when TNA was popping. We talking about 2005 through 2009. And back then, the Ruthless Aggression era was really, really awesome. TNA was great. New Japan, they're still recovering from the Inokiism, if you know, you know. But when TNA, the alternative wrestling, found their mark and they were on their prime, put up the best match, the storyline, at that time, I wouldn't say they were a threat to WWE, but they got the fans talking about TNA. And it really, really bothered the WWE fans, the tribalism. And they did the same thing. Oh, WWE got more money than TNA. WWE put better matches than TNA. TNA, they're going to be out of business. Woo, woo, woo. And to this day, TNA is still here. And not only that, they're on the episode of The Dark Side of the Ring, which is crazy. But not only with sports and pro wrestling, let's talk about genre. Star Wars and Star Trek. If you talk some grimy stuff about Star Wars, you might get stabbed in the neck with a pen. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I even one up you. Dragon Ball. Every nerd fans out there, hardcore fans, if you talk any grimy stuff about Dragon Ball, you better prepare yourself to defend yourself. Because they will slap the fire out of you. They will get you in a heated debate. And I know some of these fans don't watch their butt cheeks, but that's a whole different story. But but they will go above just to make their point across. So that's the thing. That's the reason why they are very dangerous because they will defend a they will defend a fictional character or fictional show because they show they're loyal to a certain show or certain sports, and you will see that only in that particular genre. You don't see that in you don't see that with someone who's a hardcore fan of a certain uh art or a certain food. Only in the realms of entertainment. Like you don't see that in the gaming console war between Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo. You just don't. Like all of us are gamers and we share the same passion. Like if you're a fan of Xbox and I'm a fan of Sony, cool, great. Nothing wrong with that. We're gonna play the same game, maybe a different console, but we share the same passion. You can't do that during the college season. Now, college season, that's a whole different ballgame. Now, that's where the lands of hardcore fans is at. And I've seen a lot of fans who talk a lot of trash. In my state of South Carolina, the only time you see two different counties or two different college fans go at each other is the Clemsons and the South Carolina Gamecocks. The Battle of Palmetto. And for me, I got both hats. I got the Gamecock hat and I got the Clemson hats. For two reasons. One, I'm a big fan of both of them, and both of them match my outfit. I'm just saying. But more I'm a Gamecock fan than the Clemson. But it is what it is. But but it wasn't bad because we might talk trash, but we not put each, put our hands on one another. Now, if this was for the championship, like the SEC championship or the bowl game, that's a whole different story. There will be a Royal Rumble in the Palmetto State. Trust and believe. Now, from outside from sports, let's talk about music. The whole Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Me, on the other hand, I'm a diehard Kendrick Lamar fan. Back then, I'm just a casual Drake fan. I usually listen to his music when I be on my PS5. I'm telling the truth. But I'm more of a diehard Kendrick Lamar fans. Now, others who are straight up hardcore Drake fans and hardcore Kendrick Lamar fans. Me, I'm just a diehard fan of Kendrick. But hardcore fans, they go beyond. Like Drake fans. When I say something, I think I said something on the a hip hop video channel on TikTok, and I say something. I say, you know what, Drake music is not that great. I prefer other artists, and I feel like Kendrick Lamar put out better quality music than Drake. Not throwing some shots, not throwing some shades. That's my opinion. Now I respect everybody's opinions sometimes when you got enough receipts and enough proof to back it up, but I respect everybody's opinions. not to these hardcore Drake fans. They will come out from the woodwork and they will flame you for disrespecting Drake. Even though I didn't disrespect Drake, but they go out their way defending this guy, defending the hell out of Drake. Even though Drake don't even know you guys, but these hardcore fans will defend you, will defend Drake, and I see that all the time. Before the beef, during the beef, and after the beef. And to this day, you got hardcore Drake fans still defend this man to the teeth. And then not only that in music, but then you got different kind of genre. Prime example, the whole entire world is a fan of like Harry Potter. Those are some hardcore fans right there. You talk mess about Harry Potter, you're gonna be running for the hills. Those are fans you gotta watch out for. If you don't believe me, I would say go to any conventions. There are some hardcore fans. They would dress up of any kind of characters of their likings. When I say the characters who's are hardcore fans who are really dangerous, I would say the Joker fans. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Joker. I'm more, I can't say I'm a diehard fan, but to debate, I am a diehard fan of Joker because well, I got the graphic novels, I got the T-shirts. Uh, yeah, I'm a true fan of Joker, and if you disrespect the Joker, you get cussed out as well. I remember one time, not even a Joker fan. I'm a huge Bane fan. I got the action figure, I got the Funko Pop. I read the graphic novels, I got the comic books. I'm a huge die-hard fan of Bane. I I may consider myself. I may be a part-time hardcore fan of Bane. I would say that. The reason I say I'm a part-time hardcore fan of Bane, I dislike the live action version of Bane, not the one in the '90s, but the Dark Knight Rise Bane. When Tom Hardy plays Bane, I hate it. I hate it with a passion for so many reasons. I hate it I hate it with a passion. I end up debating a great friend, one of my comic book friends who brought in a well-known artist for a live show. Now, let me build this story up. So a long time ago, I watched my friend interview his buddies from London who talk about arts, comic book worlds, and animation, and I was there watching the video live on Instagram. So they start talking back and forth, and I chime in when one of the friends mentioned about Bane, talk about Batman. And he said, "Oh, I love Dark Knight Rises, Bane. Tom Hardy plays Bane was the best thing ever." I come out and I say that Bane was trash because he sounded like William Regal in NXT. And then the guy, the buddy of the guy who talked about Batman, he replied to me and said, "Oh, you sound thirsty. You need to sit back down." As I mind you, my nickname is Thirsty Jack for a different reason. If you know, you know, for my close friends out there. So I say, you know what? But he challenged me to debate. If you want to come in here, let's debate. I said, fine, bet. Next day, we debated. Me and him debating about Bane for so long. I feel like it was over an hour, like an hour or two, because we talked so much the time will fly by so quickly. We talked so long. Instagram itself cuts off our live video. Let me repeat myself. We talked so long on Instagram, the Instagram itself cut us off. Neither one of us hit the either one of us hit the end button. We didn't press no button. We were going back and forth debating about Bane. I'm a hardcore fan Bane. I guess that's like I said now. I'm a hardcore fan Bane or diehard fan. Either way, I'm between the middle. I defend Bane so much. We talk over at least 2 hours, at least 2 3 hours. But Instagram cut us off. Now, I'm not sure they do that now or they have like a little time limit, but that's how much passionate I am about it. Now, you may know somebody who would do the same thing, go out their way and beyond to defend of their likings. Trust and believe me, they would do that. I'm trying to think what other big topics, not topics, other genre that the hardcore fans will do because if you disrespect them, they will threaten you. Like I remember one time, and I will talk about this and then give my final thoughts. I remember when I watched Double Toasted on YouTube, and they do a review of John Wick, either 3 or 4. I think John Wick 4, and I remember the host get bombarded of hate letters or hate reviews or hate letters or hate comments because they were reviewing John Wick. At that part, I understand. It's one of those genre or films that you don't touch as a hardcore fans. If that film or the series become a cult classic and that person become a hardcore fan and be part of it, you should never touch. For me, even though I'm a diehard fan of Fast and Furious, those one of the franchise that I don't mind. You could talk about it. those things I don't mind talking about. As long you don't disrespect the cult classic of the Red Car Picture Show, Scarface, hell, even a TV show like Miami Vice. Those other shows you don't talk. Those shows you don't talk about. Others I don't care. Power here and there. BMF I don't care. But but you see what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying because those are the things that the fans would defend. Now, my final thoughts about this whole thing. If you're a hardcore fan, I would say don't let your passion cloud your judgment. What I'm trying to say is don't let your passion lead your butt in jail over some dumb stuff. Because while you beating this person up, the person who doing the TV show is not thinking about y'all. That person not gonna bail you out from jail or bail you out from the hospital because you give that man a Batista bomb through the table because he say that show is whack. It's not worth it. I know it's kind of hard to say it, but don't do it. So I would say this: just be respectful of one another. If you're a hardcore fan, be a fan. Just love it as a passionate hobby. If you're a casual fan, y'all cool. Diehard fan, just be careful. So, with that being said, just enjoy what you love and just don't hurt nobody. So yeah, so that's my topic. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you guys enjoy the gameplay of FC 26. And if you like this video, hit the like button, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. If you want to show some support, there comes the link right about now. Drop some coins into my Cash App. And until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye.